CTV News with Sarah Freemark.
One person has been charged with second-degree murder as police investigate a suspicious death at an Orillia trail. Thank you for joining us. Police tape lines a busy walking path this hour as officials put together the pieces after a man was found dead on Tuesday night. As CTV's Rob Cooper reports, although an arrest has been made, police are still asking for the public's help.
This popular walking trail in Orillia remains closed off and under police guard tonight, following what police are calling a suspicious death. The incident happened at Scouts Valley Trail around 7 o'clock last night.
Officers were called to the scene for an injured party. Upon arriving at scene, that person was transported to a local hospital where they were later pronounced deceased.
The OPP Crime Unit is leading the investigation with assistance from the Criminal Investigation Branch, the Office of the Coroner, and forensics teams. At this point, police will not say anything about the victim. Police will not say if it was a male or female, young or old, or what the connection may have been between the victim and suspect, who's now been arrested.
Devin Alamina, a 33-year-old from Brampton, Ontario, has been charged with second-degree murder.
How did the victim and suspect know each other?
At this time, it is unknown if they knew each other.
Alamina appeared in bail court today. Police will not say what kind of weapon was used, if any at all, and details remain tight. Today, police investigators were on scene, out of sight, trying to piece everything together. The trail is located next to Old Barrie Road, across the street from the Orillia OPP building. Police are asking anyone who may have been driving by at the time to come forward, especially anyone with any kind of dash cam footage from their vehicle.
Now, police are reminding people there is no threat to public safety at this point. They are also reminding people that the area will likely be cordoned off and under police eye for the next several days. Rob Cooper, CTV News, Orillia.
Provincial police are investigating the discovery of human remains in Thornton. Officers were called to a home on the 10th line just before 11:30 a.m. after the remains were discovered on the property. Police were still there today, including the K-9 unit. The OPP say it believes this is an isolated incident with no signs of a broader threat. Anyone with information is asked to call to police. Two teens have been arrested following a two-vehicle crash on Highway 400 in Bradford early this morning. It happened in the northbound lane south of County Road 88 around 6 a.m. A Honda CRV broke down after the crash and the two people inside ran towards Bradford. South Simcoe police found and arrested them quickly. Police found the Honda CRV was reported stolen from Peel region early in the morning. A 17-year-old from Vaughan and a 15-year-old from Mississauga face a number of charges, including a possession of automobile master key. A home in Orillia is no longer livable after a fire broke out this morning. It happened just after 8:30 a.m. on Birch Street. The homeowner was home at the time and heard the fire, ran to the neighbors to get them to call 911. Fire officials tell CTV News the fire started in the kitchen and heavily damaged the top floor of the home. Damage is estimated at $700,000. No injuries were reported. And Barrie police are reminding drivers to share the road with motorcycles after two crashes in the same week on city roads. The most recent one happened yesterday afternoon in the area of Cundles Road East and Livingston Street East. Police say the motorcyclist, a 19-year-old man, was taken to hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries after a crash with an SUV. On Monday, a motorcycle was hit on Harvey Road near Brine Drive. The rider also had serious but non-life-threatening injuries. A woman in her 70s has been charged with failing to make a safe turn. Different technology is now being used in new ways. That includes on the County of Simcoe Paramedics team, where drones are playing a key role. Let's go to CTV's Luke Simard. He joins us live in Barrie with more on the advancement. Luke.
Well, Sarah, the County of Simcoe has been updating its technology, bringing in drones to assist with various scenarios throughout the region. A sign of the times as Simcoe County paramedics are taking to the air to help them assess emergency situations.
Remote patient locating or search and rescue is important. Our drones have thermal capability, thermal infrared capability, so it makes it a little easier to locate patients that are lost.
The county currently has 4 drone aircrafts and 18 pilots trained to operate them, allowing paramedics the time and space to properly and efficiently assess situations.
It allows our incident commanders the ability to have the right information, the right situational awareness to make resource decisions to improve responder safety and improve patient safety.
The county, not the only agency to use drones during emergencies. Police services across our region also use them and collaborate in unique ways to save valuable resources.
We want to ensure if paramedics have a drone that can work on patient triage and assessment, police have a drone made for searching, that those drones work effectively together. So if the police drone finds somebody, our paramedic drone can then readily come in, do that assessment and deliver what they need to deliver.
With each drone doing a specific job.
It's not about who gets there first or who has the fanciest toys. It's about how do we work together and really support the mission. We've also spent a lot of time recently with deconfliction exercises. So when you have multiple drones, multiple agencies in the air at the same time, how do we avoid each other?
Last week, the collaboration on display with paramedics assisting Oromonte Fire on Highway 11.
Our drone pilots also have the ability to support agencies by providing that same situational awareness, the overwatch, where they can identify hotspots, they can monitor fire crews as they enter and exit buildings, and improve the safety for the responders.
Drones used by paramedics can currently make lightweight deliveries, including AED devices and medical supplies, with officials saying future drones will hopefully be able to lift heavier equipment from inaccessible areas and way into the future potential patients. Sarah?
That is our Luke Simard reporting live tonight from the County of Simcoe Paramedics headquarters here in Barrie. The Canadian flag is more than dyed threads that tie our nation together. It's hope, it's freedom, it's sacrifice, but a flag does not exist specifically to honor those that fought to protect it. One man from Barrie who served with 441 Wing Huronia is taking his fight for veterans to the flagpole of Parliament Hill. Here's CTV's Mike Lang.
There are over 80 different veterans organizations in Canada at the moment. There's 460,000 veterans, according to the last census that was taken. And yet, after Remembrance Day, veterans virtually disappear.
We have flags for countries, provinces, municipalities, even sports teams, and countless causes. But what about a flag to honor those who gave us the freedom to fly those other flags? It hit retired Major Kent Smerdon one night that no such flag exists. A flag specifically honoring those who gave so much for this land we call home.
I think there's something that needs to be established nationally so that a veteran can wear, say, a lapel pin that says in a very respectful way, I serve Canada in uniform.
With the help of his wife and son and clearance from Heritage Canada to use the 11-point maple leaf, the retired Air Force and Air Canada pilot created the Canadian Military Veteran Unity Flag.
It's on red background. It's the same red and white as Canada's flag.
The red representing the bloodshed of wounded and fallen soldiers. The white maple leaf representing peace, purity, and Canadian snow. The V standing for veteran and valor in English and French. Its 3 points representing the 3 branches of the armed forces. A symbol for those who served, those who fought. A symbol unto itself that needs no words. Each November we stand united in our appreciation, but now a symbol that can unite us year-round.
I'd like to see it flown for the month of November on Parliament Hill.
Smerdon's ultimate goal to have November declared as National Veterans Month and for the flag to be recognized as its symbol by the federal government. The support behind his vision continues to grow.
I would like to see it flying in the Capitol, on government buildings, specifically during November, being the month of veterans, and any other institution that feels that appropriate to do so at that time.
We get to sit in our symbol of democracy because of these veterans.
MP and former Veterans Affairs critic John Broussard tabled the idea to Parliament last week.
Supporting this project, I think, sends a message that not only are they appreciated, but this flag can fly proudly across this country, regardless of the time of year, to honor our veterans, both past and present.
Smerdon and a group of veterans are expected to deliver a formal presentation to Parliament in September. The hope, when we stop and take a moment of silence, a moment of heartfelt reflection, a strong salute, that there is a flag flying high across the country, one that says thank you, and the goal for it to fly as early as spring 2027. Mike Lang, CTV News, Barrie.
Barrie, Springwater or Medonte MP Doug Shipley wants all Canadian flags sold in Canada to be made in Canada and has introduced a private members bill.
Currently, there is no requirement for Canadian flags manufactured abroad to be labeled with their country of origin. This is about honesty and fairness. Canadians deserve to know where their flags come from. If it is made in Canada, that is something to be proud of. If it is not, Canadians still have the right to make an informed choice.
Bill C-281, also known as the Made in Canada Flag Act, would require Canadian flags sold here to clearly display their country of origin. Minister Shipley believes Canadians want to buy Canadian.
I think right now everybody's feeling a little bit more patriotic. You know, we need to feel a bit more proud of the flag. I think we've been lacking that for actually a while. Through some of the things that have happened to Canada over the while, you know, we're in a little bit of a trade dispute with our American friends right now. It would be nice to show a little bit more pride in the flags.
The proposed legislation would require Canadian flags that meet minimum size requirements to display a country of origin label directly on the product as well as on its packaging. Time now to take our first look at weather. How is it out there, Case?
Absolutely stunning. I forgot my hat, which is okay because the wind is nice. It's a light breeze. And it's quite pleasant. Of course, the sun is shining and it's warm out. Oh, it just gets better, doesn't it? Or does it? Let's take a look. A first look at the forecast. And here we go. First look at the forecast brought to you by our friends at graveldrivewayguy.com, your local gravel driveway experts. Sarah, 23 degrees. Winds are out of the northwest, 22 kilometers an hour. They're not really gusting much higher than that. This is the temperature outside your door. 25 degrees in Orillia, 25 degrees in Newmarket, 28 in Toronto, and 28 in Algonquin Park, where the wild things are. What? Radar satellite images. Yeah, there's a few clouds, but it's entirely lovely. It truly is. Coming up in just a few minutes' time, a few clouds now, but it seems to be Mother Nature wants to turn up that weather blender. And coming up, I'll let you know, it's a long way from the weekend, but what the weekend could look like in just a few minutes' time. Back inside, Sarah.
Thanks, Case. Now to a case that involves sex trafficking, sexual assault, and human trafficking. And a verdict has been handed down in a Barrie courtroom late this afternoon. 4 alleged sex traffickers have learned their fate after an 8-week jury trial. A warning, some of the details may be disturbing or triggering to some of our viewers. Here's CTV's Mike Arcelides.
Sarah, the Barrie jury only needed about 4 hours to convict O'Neill Hopkinson, Tyrone Diaz, Jashina Singh, and Joseph Carvalho on all 16 human trafficking and sexual assault charges. The court heard from several women who testified about selling their bodies, working under the control of Diaz and Singh, whom they said ran the operation, while others hung around homes and helped traffic the sex workers in hotel rooms and homes. That included one on Yonge Street in Innisfil that was raided by police in November of 2023. Witnesses testified seeing guns and drugs in the Innisfil homes where they worked while being delivered to and from clients by Carvalho, whom police said installed security cameras to watch over the women. The court heard Carvalho admitted to posting an ad for one of the women. The Crown told the jury the women were advertised for sexual services and the earnings were taken by Diaz and his co-accused. Hopkinson, who was accused of sexually assaulting 2 of the women, had some of his human trafficking counts dropped during trial. Singh, Diaz, and Hopkinson have been in custody for more than 3 years, while Carvalho has been out on bail. Another man pleaded guilty to trafficking women and 1 count of sexual assault. He described himself as being security for the women, ensuring they weren't hurt by clients at homes and hotels where they'd make about $2,000 to $3,000 a day while being supplied drugs by Diaz. Following his conviction, Carvalho joined Diaz, Hopkinson, and Singh in custody. They're scheduled to make their next appearance on Monday to set a date for their sentencing hearing. Mike Arcelides, CTV News, Barrie.
People in Barrie are having their say tonight at a public meeting on the mayor's mushroom and illegal marijuana dispensary crackdown in the downtown core. 5 have shut down since Mayor Alex Nuttall first announced he'd be taking special action against the drug shops. 4 after police raids and 1 voluntarily after the increased enforcement was announced. Council is currently looking at a new bylaw which would allow it to fine building owners who host illegal businesses like the now closed dispensaries. The mayor says the shops are centers for crime in the city's core.
And What we've seen is violence in the streets around these storefronts where you've had cars driven into the front of them to shut them down, and also we had another firebombing inside one of these dispensaries. And so it's been really important that we figure out how to not just shut them down for 24 hours or 48 hours or whatever it is, but we actually get to a place where we have a long-term solution to shut down illegal drug dealing in downtown Barrie.
The new legislation would give bylaw officers the power to fine building owners, putting pressure on to keep those businesses out. The Barrie Police Board has announced the contract extension of the police chief and deputy chief. Chief Rich Johnston will continue into his role until December of 2027. He was sworn in as chief back in 2022. Meanwhile, Deputy Chief Rob Burke's contract has been extended until January 2029. He was appointed to that role back in 2024. There has been a shakeup in Springwater Township after Mayor Jennifer Coughlin used her strong mayor powers to revoke the appointment of the chief administration officer. In a decision made on Monday, Coughlin also appointed an interim CAO and an interim deputy CAO until further direction is provided. In a statement to CTV News, Mayor Coughlin said in part the matter has been addressed through the appropriate process but will not be discussing individual terms or confidential details. The stage is set for contract talks between the Ford government and the unions representing Ontario's education workers. That's to begin. The province's 5 major public education unions have served notice to bargain. That means negotiations must get underway within 15 days. It also means any potential job action could start as early as the fall. Some of the issues the unions are looking to address in the talks include class sizes, staffing challenges, and what they say is inadequate funding.
We have been ready for months. We are organized, aligned, and prepared to move forward to protect publicly funded education. Our members have been unequivocal. They expect real, measurable improvements to learning and working conditions, not delays, not excuses, and not political theater.
The current collective agreements between the province and Ontario's education unions expire on August 31st. Innisfil has a plan to make it easier to build in the community, replacing the current zoning bylaw with what it's calling a community planning permit system designed to combine multiple approvals into a single application for things like zoning adjustments, minor variances, and site plan approvals. Currently, each has its own separate planning approval, even if it's for the same project.
Basically, it's to shorten the process, make it more efficient and consistent and fair for everybody in the town of Innisfil. And the province likes to say cut red tape, so this is our way of shortening the process and cutting some of that red tape for people who are looking to develop here in Innisfil.
We've had this in effect for some time now along the shoreline. It's also in effect in Alcona, and now it's the rest of the town. So that's our employment areas such as Innisfil Heights, our agricultural and rural areas. We want this to be one town-wide tool that is consistently applied.
The feedback collected from last night will go to Council for consideration before it votes on the new planning legislation. Still to come on CTV, putting our pets first, how you can make sure that no one needs to choose by supporting this local food bank. Plus, hundreds of expecting mothers in our area can't afford diapers, clothes, and materials to care for their babies. More on a program that helps these families survive. Stay with us.
Presented by Paul Sadlin Motors.
Music, it's a small community, so when something's really good, we all want to be part of it.
We have an amazing music scene here. Having people come together in community, listen to some amazing local artists, brings the downtown alive. It brings our city alive.
Troubadour Festival 2026 is going to be off the hook. Road Amory's got the Watchmen, Bahamas. It's going to be great.
Having a baby is a truly rewarding experience, but not having the money to help care for your precious one is a reality that many mothers in our area face. But the Orillia Pregnancy Resource Center is trying to help make a difference.
Last year we had about 130 regular clients.
400 visits.
The organization helps with items like diapers and baby wipes, clothing for newborn children, and again this year, a baby bottle fundraiser that has proven to be a wonderful way to help keep mothers, babies, and families happy.
Baby bottles that go out, a lot of them are in churches and stuff. People pick them up and they fill them up with change or cash or a check, and they return them around Father's Day. And then that money comes back to us and helps us with our operating costs for the year.
Last year's bottle drive raised almost $30,000 for the Orillia Pregnancy Resource Center. No family should have to choose between feeding themselves or feeding their beloved pet, but one of our local food banks says it can't keep up with demand.
It's sad. So many families are struggling just with the general cost of things these days, whether or not to pay a bill or to budget for pet food in their groceries. I don't think we've got any food.
The team at the South Simcoe Pet Food Bank says they have requests waiting for 51 dogs, 48 cats, and 1 rabbit, with more coming in every hour. What's needed includes pet food, treats, litter supplies, and of course, monetary donations.
You know, in an effort to keep our family members, our pets, out of the shelter system and the rescue system, in order to keep them with their families, in the hands of those that love them. We need to be able to provide the support that they need. People are struggling right now. And if we can just step in and a small bag of kibble or a can here and there, it goes really, really far.
The South Simcoe Pet Food Bank has teamed up with local businesses in Barrie and Innisfil to collect donations, and there is a full list of all of the different drop-off sites on our website. In fact, our digital team has written a comprehensive article that, of course, does have all of those locations within it. The site, ctvnews.ca/Barrie, or use your cell phone to scan that QR code on the screen. Time now to look towards the weekend. For that, let's go to Martin Van Coy with your weekend event listings.
Hi, I'm Martin Van Coy for Bounce Radio, and these are your weekend events for Pure Country 106 and Bounce 104.1. Kicking things off, the Kids Fishing Derby returns to Midland Town Harbor this Saturday from 9 to 1. It's a free family-friendly event where young anglers can cast a line, enjoy prizes and activities. Registered children can also get free bait and a hot dog. Find more at midland.ca. From fishing to fitness, Mental Health in Motion takes place Saturday morning at the Waypoint Center in Penetanguishene. Starting at 8:30, the event features a 5K and a 10K run, along with a walk and bike option, plus a kids zone and community activities, all in support of local mental health programs. You can learn more at waypointcenter.ca. Coldwater turns into one big treasure hunt this Saturday for their annual community garage sale. Shoppers can explore throughout the entire community, looking at clothing, toys, kitchenware, or maybe something you didn't even know you needed. Details are available at coldwatervillage.ca. The Georgian College Auto Show is on all weekend long as well at the Barrie campus. It's Canada's largest outdoor student-run auto show, featuring major brands, test drives, and a kids zone for the whole family to enjoy. You can check it out at georgiancollege.ca if you want to see some more details. And don't forget the first installment of the Troubadour Festival. It's kicking off in downtown Barrie Saturday night with the Road Hammers at Meridian Place. The event, which is presented by Paul Sadlin Motors, features all-day programming, including a performance by Katie and Toby at the Troubadour Street stage. Get all the details at ctvnews.ca/Barrie. Those are your weekend events for Bounce 104.1 and Pure Country 106.
We are actually going to hear from Jason McCoy, the frontman of the Road Hammers, here in the CTV Barrie studio in just a few minutes. Also, still to come, the World Cup is inspiring all sorts of celebrations and activities, and this one in downtown Toronto highlights teams and the countries they represent. Those details coming up, but right now let's head outside. Case.
Oh, Sarah, it's Global Running Day, which is fantastic because the air quality out here, superb right across South Central Ontario. And our weather watcher Artis says, good news. Preston sends us this picture of him admiring his new shoes for running. You're watching CTV News Barrie.
Hi, we're Martin and Steph.
From Bounce 1041.
And this week on the show, we're giving away tickets to see Sister Act at Kings Wharf Theatre.
So make sure you're listening Monday to Friday from 5:30 to 10 for your chance to win.
Picture this, brought to you by Bounce 1041 and Pure Country 106.
Whatever makes you smile, continue to capture those moments and send them to us. Picture this at ctv.ca is the email address for a chance to be featured. Let's head outside in case you don't quite look complete. Oh, there it is. The hat's back.
The hat is back.
Away you go.
Yes, you need the hat, certainly for the amount of sun and your sunscreen and all the rest of the stuff that we always have to remember when we head out on a beautiful summer day or just about any day. I know you should wear sunscreen all year round. I know it's always being told that all the time. But what a day, what an opportunity to wear sunscreen. What a fantastic temperature it's been the last little while, and cool summer nights or spring nights to sleep. But we're getting a little warmer. And let's talk about that. Let's dive into the forecast right now and find out what goodies Mother Nature has in store for us. 24 degrees as we speak in Owen Sound, 24 in Collingwood, 19 looks like the cool spot in Parry Sound, 25 in Newmarket, call it 23 in Mount Forest, and 24 degrees in beautiful Alliston, Ontario. This is the Almanac, 25 and 9. That's the high, that's the low. A record 33.3 a long time ago, 1871, and a record low not that long ago, 2009. 0.9 for the record low. Sunrise, 5:36. 5:36, wow. 8:58 it sets. How about 15 hours and 22 minutes of daylight? This is the forecast radar. Thank you, TD Adam. Appreciate it. Rolling that for us, and we see a few clouds rolling in. Is there any shower activity? I don't see any just yet. This is the southern tip of Georgian Bay Lake Simcoe. Overnight, a few clouds. What's interesting to note is a northwest wind, gusting now, gusting this evening, 20-25 kilometers an hour. Tomorrow, there it is. 27, 28, okay, 25 around Penetanguishene and Midland, and it's a southwest wind. A warmer wind, sunny skies for the most part, and a southwest wind, so warmer air coming in our direction. Orangeville, Bradford, Georgina, Newmarket, Richmond Hill, 10 and 12 degrees overnight, a few clouds as per the forecast radar, 29 and 30 degrees, excuse me, and a sun and cloud mix tomorrow for us to enjoy. Another beautiful day, albeit a little warmer, a little bit warmer anyway, certainly more humid. Parry Sound, Huntsville, Bracebridge, Gravenhurst, Haliburton, 8 degrees overnight. A few clouds this evening, and then for tomorrow, fair skies, 25, 26. It will feel warmer with the Humidex. That's tonight and tomorrow. Now time for the Diamond and Diamond Lawyers 5-day extended forecast, and it looks like this. Heading into the weekend, Friday, would the sun go? Cloudy skies, 30% chance of a shower, just a 30% chance, 26 muggy degrees. And then Saturday arrives, cloud cover, yes, still that 30% chance of a shower, considerably cooler, 21, 25 on the Sunday. We're starting to build again as far as humidity goes, slight chance of a shower. And Monday, back to school, back to work, 28 degrees. This is 5-day extended forecast, York region. Cloudy, slight chance of a shower, 28 sticky degrees on Friday. Saturday arrives, there's a 40% chance of a shower and 25. Again, 25 on Sunday, but there's a sunshine. Still that slight chance of a shower remains. And Monday, sun and cloud, 25. And a 40% chance of a shower coming down Muskoka, Parry Sound, Haliburton. Yeah, heading into the weekend, cloud cover. Friday, Saturday, right throughout our region, a slight chance of a shower, 25 and 23. Sunday arrives, there's the sun, 26, 27. And I'm going to let you know right now, Sarah, that it looks like that the temperature next week starts to steadily climb. And we're going to be talking about the Humidex all over again. No complaints from me. We like it hot. Back inside.
It is a unique scavenger hunt in downtown Toronto tied to the upcoming World Cup. The goal, to find beaver sculptures designed to represent the countries taking part in the tournament. CTV's Rahim Ladani has more on the Great Beaver Quest.
Old Town Toronto often feels like a fairy tale. Maybe it's the playful dogs or the ever-still birds trying not to draw a cat's attention. And now this Narnia-like neighborhood has a new inhabitant.
I found so many beavers and they're so cute.
Not one or two or even three, but 51 beavers have ditched their dams for this urban oasis, representing nations competing in the upcoming FIFA World Cup.
I think it's a great opportunity for folks to get out there and see parts of Toronto, even if they live here.
The quirky rodents are part of a scavenger hunt put on by the Old Town Toronto BIA. Anyone can download the Great Canadian Beaver Quest app.
It's like keeping me from not being bored. It's giving me something to do when I'm walking around.
The more beavers you find and snap pics with, the greater chance you have of winning gift cards from local businesses.
I think the city trying to expand that zone of influence and keep it not just in that Liberty Village kind of area and make it a citywide thing. That's exciting.
Each lifelike sculpture is hand-painted by a local artist. This beaver is immersed within a Tunisian living landscape, the colors drawn from Tunisia's foliage and national identity.
It really shines the light on Toronto's amazing artistic scene and the amazing talent that we have across the GTA.
This contest closes on August 16th. After that, these beavers are going to be auctioned off, with the funds going towards a local charity. Rahim Ladani, CTV News, Old City, Toronto.
Coming up, he's the frontman of the Juno Award-winning band, the Roadhammers. They are headlining the Troubadour Festival Summer Concert Series stage on Saturday night. And Jason McCoy will join us in the CTV Barrie studio next. Recapping our top stories, Scouts Valley Trail in Orillia is closed off after a suspicious death that happened at around 7 last night. Devin Alamina, a 33-year-old from Brampton, has been charged with second-degree murder. The County of Simcoe has brought in drones to assist in various scenarios throughout the region, including 4 drone aircrafts and 18 pilots trained to operate them. Last week, the collaboration on display with paramedics assisting Oromadante fire on Highway 11. And retired Major Kent Smearden from Barrie, who served with 441 Wing Huronia, is taking his fight for veterans to the flagpole of Parliament Hill. The retired Air Force and Air Canada pilot created the Canadian Military Veteran Unity flag, and the goal for it to fly as early as spring 2027. The excitement is mounting for the first Troubadour Festival Summer Concert Series show, which is, of course, Saturday. And the headliner, the Roadhammers. Joining us now in the CTV Barrie studio is frontman Jason McCoy. You were just singing a moment ago. Why did you stop?
I don't know, because I don't want to waste it for Saturday. I want to be ready to go. We are super excited about it.
Yeah? Listen, I was doing some digging into your background. You and the guys, Clayton and Chris, you've been together since 2004. What's it like to still work together 22 years later? What have you learned?
What have we learned? I've got the best of both worlds because I've had a career as a solo artist and as a band. What I've learned is that it's great to be on a team. So I never really had that before. And so, you don't have to make all the decisions. You can make it as a team. And I've learned a lot from those guys. Hopefully, I've learned a little bit from me. But, it's been great to grow as a person and a musician together.
6 albums over that 2 decades and a bit. Do you have a favorite, Jason?
They're kind of like kids. I think you love them all, But people say, what is your favorite song to sing live? It's whatever gets the most traction from the crowd, because that's what we're there for. We're the party, we're the soundtrack, but they're the ones that, make it special. So if they sing Roadhammer, Eastbound and Down, Mud, we even do Born Again in Dixieland, which still, is a fun song to play. But kind of like all the albums, all the singles, they're all different.
Do you ever go into a show with a set and an intention, and then you're kind of feeding off the crowd and you decide, you know what, we need to pivot. Let's take something out, let's add something in?
Yeah, our set lists are just like a rough guideline. Like the joke is, if you're working with Jason, it's like, hey, here's a set. Because that's what it is. It's about the crowd. Like I said, we're the soundtrack, they're the party, and if they didn't show up, it'd just be a rehearsal. So we want to be there to please the crowd. What they feel is the right thing to do, that's what we do.
Well, I've been lucky enough to find out what it's like to work with you over the last couple of years.
Yeah, go on.
Hard to keep tabs on, Jason, but in the best way. And I think one thing that I've really learned from you is when you're working with our local opener series, the winners, you're talking to them about why they started it and the importance of songwriting. Why is that something that you always want to pick out of them? Is that what it takes to really make it to your level?
Well, if you're a fisherman and you're not fishing that day, you're repairing nets, you're working on the boat, that kind of thing. So if you're not out performing or you're not recording, well, you should be doing something that you can do. And one thing that doesn't cost any money is writing. And it also gives you the content to do what makes you money. And it also gives you the content to do what expresses what's inside of you. So the more you do it, the more muscle memory you have, and the stronger you get at doing it, and you can, convey your message better. So songwriting is something you should do as much and as often as you can. And it's a great skill to have.
Does that mean then that there's maybe a song that's difficult for you to perform because it's your emotion, it's how you felt at the time?
I don't know if I've recorded anything that's been too emotional, but there's songs that tell different stories. Even if it's something you just made up, it reflects what you were thinking at that time in your life. So they're kind of like little yearbooks you get to go through when you listen to your own music. But it's a snapshot in time is all it is.
Let's talk about Saturday.
Yes.
Okay, what can people, because I hate to admit this, I was toying with the idea of whether or not I should admit it.
What?
I have never heard you and the guys perform live.
Really?
Everyone raves. Brett Kissel was practically in tears talking about how you were his mentor. So obviously you've had this impact. What can people expect?
Don't listen too close. It's just like the record, but out of tune. Okay. It's a lot of fun. It's a little dangerous because we don't want to. We're not overly polished, right? We're real. We don't run, a bunch of tracks and stuff like that. We're just a real organic band, and we have a lot of fun. So, like I said, we could pivot on a dime. So if we're in the middle of something and we feel it's got to go another way, we'll take a swing at it. Sometimes you miss, sometimes you win, but it's all fun.
And we know from last year that we're going to have a crowd filled with all ages.
Yeah.
Do you typically see that at your shows?
We love it because when we started out, we'd have people who were, just getting in. Like we sing a lot of songs about trucks and driving and cars and stuff. So we'd have a lot of, motorheads in the family and in the crowd. And now we're seeing those people go, hey, I was at your first Roadhammer concert when I was X years old, and this is my son.
Cool.
And we're Roadhammer fans. So it's not just music. It's a lifestyle.
Okay, we won't give any more away because the anticipation it's building ahead of Saturday. So I'll leave it there for today.
Sounds good.
Sounds
See
good.
you Saturday.
Okay, very much looking forward to seeing you on stage.
So are we.
Jason McCoy and the Roadhammers are headliner for the very first Troubadour Festival Summer Concert Series show. Let's go ahead and bring up the website because we've got a full list of everyone and everything that you can expect on the stage. ctvnews.ca/Barrie. Just getting more and more excited as we get closer to Saturday. Turning now to business news. Nearly 100 years after it's founded, Zellers is back again. The new owners of Zellers will soon relaunch the brand in Ontario. A new discount storefront is set to open near Yorkdale Shopping Centre on June 18th, while another will open at Windsor's Tecumseth Mall in July. The Ontario stores will also sell snack foods and toys. The Benita family bought the rights to the Zellers name last year. The family is also behind apparel stores Fairweather and International Clothiers. Moving into our markets, the TSX was down 367 points, the Dow was down 620, and the Nasdaq was down 239. And commodities, oil was up, closing at $96.02 a barrel. Gold was down, finishing at $4,466 an ounce, and our dollar was down, ending the day at 72.03 cents US. Talking sports news now. The Vegas Golden Knights have taken the first game of the Stanley Cup final over Carolina, but things didn't start out so well for Vegas. Carolina scored on the first shot of the game, 25 seconds in, and even got a second goal later in that period. Vegas battled back, though, and Tomas Hertl sailed in late in the game, completing the comeback as Vegas won 5-4. Game 2 goes Thursday in Carolina. And the NBA Finals will tip off tonight with the San Antonio Spurs hosting the New York Knicks.
He's shooting one of these. You see his size up. There it is. And there it is.
The Spurs made it to the finals after beating the defending champion Oklahoma City Thunder in 7 games. Meanwhile, the Knicks swept the Cleveland Cavaliers and are currently riding an 11-game playoff winning streak.
Saves it, finds Rice into the paint, kicks it out, Condé.
The Toronto Tempo will be looking for a 3rd straight win when they take on the New York Liberty tonight. The team is coming off a 19-point win over the Seattle Storm on Saturday. Tonight's game will mark Tempo head coach Sandy Brondello's first matchup against her old team. She coached the Liberty from 2022 to 2025. Still to come, what is actually under the water in the oceans? The incredible secrets revealed from the Atlantic Ocean floor. You're watching CTV News Barrie. Welcome back. Biologists off the coast of Newfoundland are uncovering underwater secrets. Now they're showing off their discoveries in Ottawa. CTV's Garrett Barrie has the details.
See, for the first time, these secrets of the sea.
For me, it's like watching a different movie every time the video and the camera comes up.
Hundreds of kilometers off the coast of Newfoundland and hundreds of meters underneath the surface, these ancient cold-water corals have never been seen before.
It's pitch black going through the water column for the longest time, and then all of a sudden this vibrant and textured landscape comes into view.
Until now.
You see something brand new that's never been seen before. It really gasses you up and keeps you going.
Isabelle Jubenville was on the Polar Prince for an expedition between Oceania, Canada and DFO. The team captured this footage using a drop camera system, bringing light to these mysterious and incredible creatures.
Because they grow so very slowly, they actually hold a record of geological history in their tissues. So, you know, different isotopes of elements that exist in different quantities over time, that's actually registered within the structure of the corals.
A living history book. And these are the building blocks of the ocean.
They give us an answer as to why the waters off Newfoundland and Labrador are so rich, why we have such a long history of commercial fishing, you know, almost 500 years, if not longer.
Now, researchers with Oceania are in Ottawa tonight to show off what they found at this southern Newfoundland slope, sharing this find and maybe highlighting what's out here, what might be worth further study and protection. Garrett Barrie, CTV News, St. John's.
The Royal Ontario Museum is a hive of activity with the launch of a new exhibit. CTV's Jessica Smith has the buzz on bees, a story of survival.
The hum of the hive has taken over the Royal Ontario Museum in a new exhibition.
It's a way of showing how art and science can be combined to make people appreciate bees in this case.
Bees, a story of survival, lets visitors see the world through a bee's eyes and the crucial role they play in our global ecosystem and food supply.
Bees are very important, and there are things that we can do to help preserve the bees, conserve the bees, and protect them.
The interactive exhibition uses a mix of technology, music, and smells that let you step into the hive mind of the tiny but mighty insects.
You can see how a bee sees. You can feel some of the vibrations that bees use. So there's lots of really cool things that you can learn about.
Giving everyone a chance to learn how even small environmental changes can have a big impact on the bees in your community.
If we care about bees and we work to protect them, then that's the goal of the exhibit, really.
There are over 20,000 species of bees worldwide, with more than 350 of those in the Greater Toronto Area. A fun fact, Toronto has its very own bee, the bicolored striped sweat bee. Bees, a story of survival, will be here at the Royal Ontario Museum until October 18th. Jessica Smith, CTV News.
Casey Colby, a look at tomorrow, if you please.
Yeah, let's take a look first thing tomorrow morning. How about a little sunshine? Yeah, fair skies right across the board. There we go, 14 in Barrie, 17 in Newmarket, and 12 degrees at 7 o'clock in Gravenhurst. Have yourself a great evening, Sarah.
Same to everyone at home. I'm Sarah Freemark. Have a good night.